Hey, 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 welcome back to another edition of Mr. Parker's Neighborhood. I am Mr. Parker, and we're going to do part two, continuing our conversation with Mr. Ben Morris. Man, we're going to tell you a little bit about the Arts Academy project. Yeah, yeah. Matter of fact, we're going to continue our conversation based on the fact that we played our very first pilot we ever did called Time Reveals. And as we came through life, we realizing that time is just revealing how important it is to have good relationships and good rapport with people. Um, yeah, here we go with Ben talking about what it all took to make Time Reveals and the projects behind and after that. Very much continued conversation with Ben Morris. Yeah,
That's what I need to try to digitize everything I got.
oh yeah, man. But yeah, that's your look. That's your first piece. We started off with Time Reveals.
Yeah, and I didn't know that at that time there was a lady that was watching me.
What?
She was watching what I was doing. She was a friend of my mom's.
Okay, okay.
A friend of a friend of my mom's.
Wow.
And she was the one that actually gave me the funding for the Arts Academy.
For part two.
For part two.
Man. Ooh,
yeah.
Speaking of
so
part, go ahead.
If I wouldn't have done Time Reveals and if I wouldn't have done I'll Be There.
Right.
Because she was the one that gave me, I think, the money for I'll Be There.
Okay. Man.
And it was I mean, not much money at all, but she saw what I did with that amount of money. And she was like, okay.
Man, and like I said, and with the I'll Be There, man, it's so crazy that the song now is relevant as well.
It still holds up.
And that's what they say. What we say about a good song. A good song will last years, baby. It'll continue on for years.
But yeah, and it was that's a story right there because I remember I was writing it and I called you and you came over. And I played it for you. And you said, okay, that's tight, but on this next part, go up. Call on me.
Yeah.
I'll come running instead of going the same
rap. Right, man.
And I was like, okay, that's genius. And that was so me and you was co-writing songs
back then, man. Look, hey, brother, look, man. Hey, when God put them things together, you just gotta roll with it, man. It's just, hey, man,
that was
it's just crazy though. But and I mean, and that right there was the part of seeing you do what you do. I was like, yeah, okay, bro. And then when you broke out and said, all right, look, we got a little thing coming up. I might be able to pull something off. If I can, you gonna be able to go? Sure, B, I'm rolling. Man, Jordan was just born. Jordan was ooh wee.
Oh yeah, she was a little baby.
Jordan may be like two or three, something like that. And you were like, yeah, I had just started working at the TCI in the city, doing my own video shows and stuff.
Yes.
And they had just let go of my boss. They fired him and left us to run the station like SCN almost. And I'm like, okay. And you called that night and said, hey, I think we may have something. I come by the house and you start talking about the Arts Academy 2. Now, what made you come up with the fact of doing that project?
It's always been something within inside of me, even when I was working in the Hollywood system, to give back. And even in high school, even after my senior year in high school, I went back that summer and I taught a summer program for junior high and high school kids. So I always had this thing within me about trying to give back. And since I had a real Hollywood experience at that time, had my first movie out, worked on a sitcom. My family and friends in St. Louis were seeing my name on the credits on that sitcom.
Yeah.
So I had something to give back. I had that real world experience, and I had always thought about what I would do and how I would do it. Okay. And I just had to come up with something unique and creative, something that I ever done before. And the Art Academy, no one had ever done that. And to that, as a testament of that, when I was doing all the paperwork, all the 501c3, you were with me on that stuff.
Oh yeah.
And it was that it was like 1%, and my attorney Amit. Oh my goodness!
I remember that. Yeah, right. I remember that. Yeah.
You heard that name? He was like, Ben, there's like 1% chance that the IRS would give you a red flag because they've never seen anything like this before. Sure enough, I was at 1%.
Wow.
So I had to go back and make sure that the IRS knew how transparent I was going to be.
Right.
As far as the dollars coming in, the kids working on the album, they're going to get a piece of the album. Mm-hmm. All what we learned about the business of show business, we're going to pass it on to these kids, and they're going to find out real world contracts, everything what that's about. Mm-hmm. So, and as a testament to that, after we got it up and running, I think I told you this. I had a head of Sony Music called me and said, Ben, I've been trying to do what you're doing for years. I've never been able to do it.
Wow. How
can we partner up?
Wow.
And I told him up front, I'm not doing this for the money. This is a nonprofit fund. The funds that we make from this album are going right back into the program. Never heard from him. Because he was seeing the dollars that could be made from getting young and pushing them through a program. He saw the value in that. Man. You know. Yep. You and I were we were part of that. Brother, we were making history right there.
Brother, we were staying up night. Look, we got just the paperwork, staying up all night talking about CP. Look at this, baby. It's 2:00 in the morning. We gotta get this in. We gotta get this in by tomorrow. All right, B. All right. And I'm like, I gotta go home, B. I got a couple of times brought Jordan with me, and your mama took her in the room with her. And we in there just man. But again, it's the fact of your passion and I say and mine, like I said, just to try to do something that hadn't been done, and just to make an impression on somebody, bro. Like I said, that was something I was like, this is gonna be crazy, because I'm like you, I couldn't figure out. And then when we got together, the thing that blew my mind was we went to St. Louis, Atlanta, Cincinnati, and L.A. And went in there and said, all we need is kids. And nobody sent us nothing. We got what? Nothing. We got 6 from St. Louis, which ended up going down to being, no, we had 8 from St. Louis, it ended up being 6. And that was Gerald, Preston, Charles, we can't think of shorty name. Melissa, and one Nija.
Charles.
I called Charles' name.
Okay, you called Charles.
So yeah, that was the 5 we got from St. Louis.
And we had Lawrence at first.
Right, we had. Yeah. We had the maestro Lawrence Fields, and
For about 2 weeks.
And like I said, man, and it's so funny because when we did that piece, the parents in St. Louis really didn't understand what was going on. And the kids didn't understand what was going on because of the parents. So we trying to sell the parents on what's going on, and man, it was just crazy. But I mean, for free, they fighting us.
But that's the thing, and that's that thing that I learned through that process, was people if you don't put a value to it, they think something's wrong. So I wasn't in that mindset. I was just in a mindset of straight giving back. This is what we're doing.
That was it.
I mean, we weren't scamming anybody. We weren't charging people $10,000 to come to a camp, and you ain't gonna learn nothing.
Right. No,
you know, I mean, we did all of this for free, and that was because of a donor that I had.
That's it.
That gave me this chunk of money and said, "Run with it. I don't care how you do it. Change some lives."
That's it.
And this was how we wanted to roll with it.
Yeah.
It wasn't, go ahead, I'm going to give you this money, go ahead and make me some money.
Right.
It was go ahead and impact some lives. And so that's how you and I, we molded this thing into something. And yeah, we were getting these funny looks from the parents, from the kids. It's like, why are you two just going out here and giving us something for nothing?
Right.
Okay, now this goes back to, we're about to get deep on this. Why does Christ love us?
Because, just because.
Just because.
Just because.
Why do we fight so much with that? You just accept it. He loves you, and you just accept it.
That's it.
That's an innate thing that we have as humans. What?
The grass, right?
You're gonna love me and give me this thing for free? What's the catch?
Right.
There is no catch. It's just a gift, and if you accept it, you're gonna get so much out of it that you won't even know until years down the road.
Yeah, man.
You know.
I mean, like I said, and it was so crazy because I mean, in that piece, like I said, hey, I had to fight to get Preston in. This is family. This flesh and blood. I'm like, I'm not gonna do nothing to him, cause that's mine. I mean, I'm trying to get him in, and like I said, you'll see when I had Isaiah on the show, man, and Isaiah told the people back. He said they came in and said, "Here, just come."
Right.
I said, I'm in Cincinnati. I'm driving kids back and forth. I ain't never been to Cincinnati. Ben talking about, here, take the van, go and pick them up there and show you where to go. I ain't never been here. But because that was it. That was it. But now, I'm going to go ahead and confess to it. We went to L.A.
Uh-oh.
We went to L.A.
Yeah.
And the first night there, we went to L.A. And we got the kids, and you went to bed. I got up to get myself ready to ride the route. Remember when I came back and you was coming out for breakfast and I was walking in and said I went to get some gas? I was just getting home, man. I got lost. Dude. B. I'm leaving cause you had us in Inglewood. We had the hotel in Inglewood. I leave Inglewood and I'm driving. I see the Hollywood sign. Oh, cool. I go through Hollywood. I'm chilling, yada yada woo. I go through Chinatown, yada 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 woo. Okay, it's about 9. It got to be about 2 o'clock or something in the morning. I stopped at the gas station to get some gas, and I look at the sign on the wall that says, "You're here." I'm like, what the heck? I was up at the top of Hollywood. I was up by, like I said, up by Hollywood piece, and it said, I said,
Mulholland Drive or something?
yeah, I said I need to get back to Inglewood. Man said, son, you way down here. So it took me like 2 more hours to get back. So when I got out the van, I'm like, the sun coming up. I'm coming in. I'm like, whoo, I made it back. You talking about, hey, where you been? I said, oh man, you got some gas. I'm gonna go get you something to eat. I ain't slept. I ain't did nothing, man. That's why when I picked them kids up and dropped them off at rehearsal,
You're like,
I had been up all night trying to get back home. Boy, I ain't never been so scared in my life. And
that was pre GPS.
Man, pre-GPS, right? Wasn't no GPS. You gotta read a map or guess.
Yeah. Man, no, because the hotel was DoubleTree.
Yes, sir.
It was a DoubleTree in El Segundo.
Mm. Yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
And then we had to go to Inglewood to pick up Charles and Kiana, and then Burbank to pick up what's her name, Jessica.
Yeah, Doc. So I'm trying myself trying to be proactive, and I'm gonna learn these routes.
Right.
Man, I said, boy.
Man, to this, I've lived out here for 26 years. I can still get lost out here.
Man.
That was no joke.
No, bro.
I'm surprised you made it back,
brother. When I hit Chinatown and couldn't read nothing, I'm like, oh man, what the heck is this? I'm looking for a piece of.
And I'm sound asleep.
Yeah, you knocked out. I can't call. Look, can't call nobody. Look, I think the little cell phone I had, I think was dead. Couldn't call you. Say, hey B, I'm lost. No, we finna ride. We finna ride this out, sir. But yeah, man. I mean, but now, in doing that, man, what was the hardest thing to you about doing the Arts Academy Part 2?
Wow, that's a loaded question too. Well, I mean, for the most part, it was a two-man crew. It was me and you, and to handle all of the logistics, 3 cities doing the marketing, the radio spots that I wrote.
Yep.
Dealing, I mean, I guess a big part was the parents. Okay. Just trying to get through to them that that we really are there for them. Man, let me think, man. We went through so much.
Man, cause that was,
you know, it was one thing though, because I was heading up everything. I couldn't enjoy the journey.
Right.
Until afterwards, type of thing, because I was just so focused on getting everything right. You know, even all those late nights in the booth.
Yeah.
I mean, till 3:00 in the morning.
Man,
it was just like we had to do it. We had to get it done, and you know. So I mean, those are some hard parts, and then probably the hardest part for me is having to shut it down.
Man,
that was traumatic for me. It was devastating, and it was at the time right after 9/11, and we were a small nonprofit, and you know even the Red Cross was trying to get donations. But we were a tiny group. We were only in existence at that time for 2 or 3 years.
Right.
And to get grants, you had to be in existence for like 3 to 4 years.
Right.
So I wasn't getting any kind of love from nobody, and it was just a gut-wrenching thing. Because I could, to this day,
yeah.
Me and you could still be running that thing and be happy.
Yep. Yes, sir.
You know, so that was a hard part of just going through that grief process. It was a grieving process.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because, I mean, we were in those kids' lives for over a year, which was the whole...
That was the whole point of...
structure because of that. Because prior to that, I worked the program in Cincinnati.
Right.
And we were only in their lives for 2 months, for 6 weeks.
Okay.
And that wasn't enough time.
Right.
That's not enough time to be in these kids' lives and to make a real impact. That's why I created the whole year-round structure to that. And just to have that whole thing shut down, man, it was like...
Yeah, family. We're gonna stop right there. Man, yeah, it was a rough one, and we're gonna continue up with how the Arts Academy and the purpose of it really was never really heard all the way, and like I said, we had to pull the plug on it, and that affected me and Ben. And then it's just some things that happened besides the money part that caught me off guard and hurt my spirits. But we'll discuss that. But in all, hey, our friendship stays strong, and you'll see we continue moving on, and we're still friends to this day cause he's on the show. But hey, please take time out to tell your people how you feel about them. It ain't a whole lot of things to do nowadays. Telling somebody you love them and you mean it is worth a whole lot more than money. I'm speaking for me. I'm sorry, I can't speak for everybody. But just knowing that someone loves you, someone cares about you, and that someone thought about you should make your day better. Cause I'm doing this whole piece that I'm doing for these shows just for the fact that I got friends who I want to let them know while they're living. Hey, I'm glad to know you. I'm glad to be your friend. I'm glad to be part of your family. And I just want you to know that you are important to me and you mean something to this community. And the people that come on here, they have a connection to their community. So just be a good neighbor. That's all I'm trying to say. Love somebody. It don't hurt to love. Nah, don't be stalkerish, but it don't hurt to love. Let me get out of here. Till next time. We'll be back with more Ben Morris, part 3, so we can hear the part about how he overcame the grief of the Arts Academy. Yeah, it's going to be good to hear because there's a lot of things in the future that's working. All right, till next time, remember, love the life you live, and you'll live a life that you love. God bless all. Be safe. Peace.